my real weight loss journey. I'm Richard Greenland, and this is an update. It's the first update. After the first of the year, I told everyone what I was going to do, and now I'm giving my first update on how I've done. Um, so I got my rules. In the first video, I put up those rules on the screen. I printed them out so I could have them here. Made it on cardstock and everything, so I can put it up where I can see it, big print, everything. So let's go through how I did on those rules this week. And then at the end of it all, I'll tell you how much I lost or gained or whatever happened. Yeah, we'll see. So let's get started on how I did with the rules. First off, first rule was focus on whole grains, legumes, fruits, and vegetables. On this one, I think I did pretty well. I definitely ate more vegetables than I usually do. For example, just for lunch today, I had almost my entire plate was vegetables. I had a small meat portion, and the rest was pure vegetables. So, that's actually been pretty close to normal for this week, which is really weird for me otherwise. So I think I did pretty well with that one this past week. Second rule, limit meat. Like I said earlier today, I had meat for lunch. It was a small portion. I did not have seconds or anything on it, which was also, something that I did all the time. So that's weird for me. This past week, even before I started this whole journey this year in 2021, the last 2 to 3 months, actually more like 4 or 5 months, I'd been trying to limit meat, even though I wasn't really limiting any calories or focusing on vegetables or anything like that. I've kind of been limiting meat already. And so this week was kind of more of the same. I actually might have possibly had a little bit more meat than a typical week for me, but it was very little more. I was still limiting it quite a bit compared to what it was before I started anything. So I think I'm doing an okay job on that. I think my body needs to kind of get used to figuring out what level of meat I need, and I think that'll just come with time. Next rule is stay away from highly processed foods. With that, I think I did a pretty good job. There are definitely some foods that are processed foods that I've eaten this past week. Most of those, though, were like meat substitute type of foods. I did have a Beyond Burger once this week, well, no, twice this week, because it came in a 2-pack, and yeah, I don't know why they don't just come in single packs, or at least individually wrapped or something. But I did have a couple burgers, one for lunch one day and then another one for dinner that same day. And so those are kind of processed. I don't feel too bad about them. They're not the absolute best food because they are a little bit processed, but I think they're better than the actual meat as far as the calories. They're kind of high in calories still, but not quite as much as you'd get from actual, like a beef burger or something. And so we'll see. I'm going to try and limit those kind of things anyways. I actually don't really care for the Beyond Burgers as much. Yes, they do taste more like meat than a lot of the other ones. But I don't know. They just don't seem like meat to me. So I don't know. They don't seem to do as good a job at faking meat as some of the other stuff. Plus, I found that a lot of the vegetarian like substitutes, I actually like the ones that don't try to fake being meat more than the ones that do try to fake being meat. So there's all that. Like I said, I'm not trying to go vegetarian or anything, but I do enjoy every now and then getting some of those vegetarian, alternative type things, because actually I enjoy some of them. They actually taste pretty good. Next rule: don't eat or drink too much sugar. This one I did much better than the holiday season. Holiday season was terrible for this. I still don't think I did amazing at this, though. I did have ice cream a couple times this week. I ate a couple brownies because my wife made brownies. I did try to make sure that those fit into the amount of calories I was trying to take. That's one of the rules I didn't mention. I didn't mention anything about calories or anything like that last week, and I'm kind of being a little bit loose on that rule. I am trying to stick around 1,800 to 2,000 calories a day. I'm actually using MyFitnessPal to kind of keep track of that, but I'm not being super strict. For example, if there's a meal that just doesn't, I can't find it when I search for it in MyFitnessPal, then I'll just kind of go with whatever I think is closest and just put it in. I'm not stressing about it at all. I'm just kind of trying to do what my body kind of feels like, while still trying to kind of hit around that goal for the calories. About 1,800 to 1,900 calories is where I need to be according to the MyFitnessPal app in order to lose 2 pounds a week. And that's double what I really what my goal really is to lose this year, because that would put me at losing about 100 pounds this year, and my goal is to lose 50 pounds. And so as of right now, I haven't really been hungry when I'm sticking to about that calorie range. Most days, according to the app, I have been hitting around 1,850 or so. There were a few days when I hit closer to 2,000. But either way, I haven't really been hungry because of some of the other stuff I'm doing. We'll get to those rules here really quick. Things that I've been following. So, anyways, that's just me with calories. Just to update you on that. So next rule: eat a lot of fiber. This one I've been doing really well with. I have been eating tons and tons of stuff that has fiber. For breakfast, I've made sure that I always have fiber in there, sometimes a lot of fiber. Like, for example, the Fiber One cereal, it doesn't taste very good by itself, but if you mix it with other stuff, it actually ends up adding a nice little crunch to stuff and adding a different flavor profile. And it's got 18 grams of fiber in one serving. That's a huge amount. Men are supposed to have 38 grams of fiber a day, so that's almost half right there, just in one serving of cereal for breakfast. So that's a lot, and I've done that a few times this week. Other than that, I've been focusing on vegetables, like I said earlier, and whole grains. So I've been getting a lot of fiber. I think that's been helping me a lot to keep me full. Next rule: get enough protein, but mostly from plant sources. I think I've been doing pretty well with this one too. I don't think I've been doing as well with the protein as I have the fiber, but I think the protein has still been pretty good. Like I said, I do eat a number of those vegetarian substitute things, the alternatives to meat, and those tend to have a decent amount of protein as well as a decent amount of fiber, and so that helps with both things. I have had meat a few times this week, and meat always has tons of protein. So I think that's something that I can work a little bit better on, but I think overall I'm doing decent on. Next rule is drink plenty of water. This one I'm still struggling with. I've never had a problem with, I guess, not liking water, because I do enjoy drinking water. It's just I've always had a problem getting enough. Since I'm bigger, my body requires more water than just what they say, the 8 cups a day or whatever. Bigger people, heavier people need more water. Your body just requires it. And so I think I've definitely been getting the 8 cups a day, but the extra that I'm supposed to be getting, that I may not be getting. I need to start tracking it a little bit better. I'll probably start putting that into MyFitnessPal, just because it does have a water tracking part of it. So I think I'll start doing that to do a little bit better job on drinking water. Next rule is sleep at least 7 hours each night. This one I've been doing fairly well on. There have been a few nights where I've gotten actually 8 hours of sleep, which before this was actually pretty rare. But there were also a couple nights where I only got 6 hours of sleep, which wasn't terrible, actually. I think 6 hours, maybe a little low, but not terrible for me. Just kind of what I'm used to. But I do want to try to do a little bit better and get the full 7 hours at least every night. And then the last rule is I won't exercise for the first few weeks, and I'll just work on increasing my step count and work my way up to actual exercise. This is one that I haven't really done that well on. I did increase my step count just a little bit, but really not much. And it was kind of a roller coaster. Some days I would, some days I wouldn't. So that's one I really need to work on. Side note though, even though I haven't really been increasing my steps, I have felt like I've had more energy. Just the other day, I was just kind of walking, and I just felt like I had the energy to kind of jump up and down or do other stuff, and that's big for me because I usually don't. I get tired pretty quickly, so I think I can definitely increase my steps. It's just a matter of me putting my mind to it and doing it. So that's the rules. That's how I've been doing. Not great, but not terrible either. I think overall I'm doing pretty good at following my rules. So, what's the results? You know that I started at 300 pounds, exactly right on the dot. I started at 300 pounds on January 1st, 2021. Today is January 7th, 2021, so almost a week later. And my current weight as of this morning is 292.4 pounds. So I've lost about 7.5 pounds. That's huge for a week. That's way more than I should be losing, but it's actually pretty common because you lose water weight and stuff like that. And so the first week or two is typical to lose a lot. So I'm glad, I'm happy, I'm really excited about losing that much. But I don't want to, just say, okay, I'm losing this much, I can go out and party and eat a bunch of stuff. No, I don't want to do that. I know that this isn't typical, and I know that it's probably going to slow down here in a little bit once my body gets used to what I'm doing. So I definitely want to stay on, stay on the plan, keep following the rules, and just keep losing. So, like I said, I'm excited. Thank you for everyone that has commented. Thank you for everyone that subscribes and who supports me. So let's keep doing this. I'm ready to go. So next week I'll give you another update, and please keep supporting me. Thank you so much.